Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is 11th of February. Now it's about 12 o'clock, middle of the day by Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is today's first news update from Moscow. As you can see, central part of Moscow, and well, today is Sunday, so first of all let me wish you a nice day. I hope you have a great weekend, and there is quite a number of interesting news that I'd like to share with you. And I will start with a short summary of the situation on Ukrainian battlefield. According to reports from Russian media, Russian language channels, Russian armed forces continue to increase pressure on Ukrainian units all along the front line. Main hotspots still are like in previous days, Avdiivka on Donetsk sector of the front line. According to some channels, Russian forces are very close to cut the main supply and support road, main support line for Avdiivka garrison in the central and the southern part of the city. It's only a few hundred meters left, and basically, if Russian forces and when Russian forces will establish control over their bus depot or transport depot in that northern part of the city, one may say that this main supply and support line is already being cut because Russian forces will establish fire control over that road that connects northern industrial zone with the central and southern parts of the city, and the only way Ukrainian garrison will be able to receive reinforcement or munition or any supply, it's just through the fields. And still it's not gonna be safe because the entire area is in view of Russian forces, and artillery of course will not allow any large columns to move freely in those areas. Of course, hotspots are on Krasny Liman sector, Yampolovka, Tarskoye, also Belogorovka, not far away from Seversk, on the eastern side of Seversk, and as in Avdiivka, Russian forces increasing pressure, and some military channels even expecting some serious progress for Russian forces in upcoming days, in next week. And by the way, next week Avdiivka may become under full Russian control. It is possible that garrison in Avdiivka will collapse if main support and supply line is under full Russian control. And well, on South Donetsk direction, also some increased activity, hostilities between the sides. Russian forces are quite active in Vremetsky salient area, in Urozhaine direction, which may be indicator that Russian forces will establish control over this village in short time. It is possible that we will see some offensive in that direction. And well, on Zaporozhye sector, which is most quiet sector usually on the front line, main hotspot is of course Orekhov bridgehead, and well, one may guess of course how long Ukrainian forces will be able to maintain their presence in Rabot, in the settlement, but at this point I don't think this Orekhov bridgehead plays any role at all, any significant role at all on the line of contact. And probably that's why Russian forces are not really in a hurry to push out Ukrainian forces from this area. Well, they will take time, and eventually it is obvious that Rabotina and entire that territory that was become under control of Ukrainian forces after the so-called counteroffensive will be controlled by Russian side again. And well, when it comes to Kherson direction, also no crucial changes there. For whatever reason, Kiev regime is continuing to send more and more troops in Krinky direction, and well, at this point, I guess no one really understands, possibly even in Kiev, in general staff of Ukrainian armed forces, why are they continue to sacrifice so many military personnel in that Krinky area. So yes, this is short summary. This is short summary for situation on Ukrainian battlefield. Let me show you surroundings here. Many members of our community like this type of videos, walk and talk. So therefore, me and my family, we came to Moscow this morning to make this walk and talk video and to show you some streets of the Moscow. And later on, by the way, later on I will upload headlines also, and I want to make that headlines on Tverskaya Street, where some installations have been put to celebrate Chinese New Year. So, you know, it's interesting what kind of installations there are. So we will go on that street and later on, and of course I will make video. I will record the headlines there, and of course while we are in Moscow I will use this opportunity to make some longer video, some extra content for a Patreon community, for my Patreon page, as I always do. Next news that I want to share with you. I already spoke about it in previous updates, but I guess it would not be. It would be interesting if I will share with you once again that Central Election Commission of Russian Federation has completed the stage of registering candidates for the presidential elections here in Russia, and presidential elections will be held from 15th to 17th March. There will be 3-day elections, and well, according to finalized decision of Central Election Commission, there will be 4 candidates in a ballots. Wow, it's a sunny day now. Great. And well, according to this decision of Election Commission, there will be 4 candidates. One is current president Vladimir Putin. Another is Vladislav Davankov. This is a candidate from New People's Party. Also, candidate from LDPR Leonid Slutsky, and candidate from Communists Nikolai Kharitonov. So these people will be on the ballots for presidential elections. And well, I mean, it's not really intrigue, isn't it? We all know who will be a winner. Putin most likely will receive, I don't know, at least 60-65% of the votes. At least. That's my guess. Let's see how will results turn out. Well, that being said, I want also share with you information about yet another statements from high-ranking official from Europe, from NATO member state about war with Russia. This illusion that war is coming. And this time, Defense Minister of Norway made such a statement that Norwegian society, Norway, should prepare for war with Russia. Unbelievable, man! How easily these so-called elites in the West managing to put fear in the people's minds and hearts by demonizing Russia, and almost every other day talking about inevitability of this war with Russia, which is total nonsense, by the way. Maybe NATO plans to attack Russia. NATO is already engaged in a proxy war against Russia in Ukraine, so I don't know, maybe they have some plans to attack us, to wage direct war against us, because otherwise Russia for sure has no plans to attack nobody, really, if unprovoked. And during the recent interview of Russian president with Tucker Carlson, Vladimir Putin quite directly said that Russia has no plans to conduct any military operation against any members of NATO, Baltic states or Poland, or just against nobody, because it's not in Russian interests. If unprovoked, Russia will prefer to have good working relationships with the European states or NATO member states. And by the way, to continue this topic, head of NATO Jens Stoltenberg also made a statement in this fear-mongering style, and he said that NATO member states and societies in the West should prepare for decades-long confrontation with Russia. Decades-long confrontation. I mean, these people are very strange, man. Very strange. And unfortunately, there is nobody in the West, in Western so-called media, to challenge these people, you know, to demand any factual evidence that war is coming, or otherwise to shut up, really, and stop scaring societies left and right. You know. But unfortunately, this will continue, and we all know what main reason is. I mean, more people are scared in the West, easier it's gonna be for so-called elites to manipulate with the society and to manipulate with the funds, with the taxpayers' money. That's all. And of course, simultaneously, by manipulating these funds, they will enrich themselves, enrich military-industrial complex, because one of the main key points in their scaremongering tactic is that, well, war is coming, therefore we have to prepare, and we have to. Oh, it's really sun, man. So one of the key points is that, well, war is coming, and therefore we have to spend more on defense, and militarize more. And undoubtedly, NATO member states will move in this direction of militarization. I have no doubts about it. So let's continue with news, and next information is about Middle East. British Foreign Minister David Cameron expressed his opinion about upcoming Israeli offensive on Rafah, on the southern part of Gaza Strip, and it's not just London, but also many other countries are expressing their opinion about upcoming offensive. because governments worldwide are afraid that as a result of this offensive, Palestinians will have just nowhere to go. Only way will be Egypt, and well, if Egypt will not open border, then I don't know. It may, this offensive on southern Gaza may be even more bloody and devastating than Israeli operations in the northern part. Hard to tell, but this is definitely one of the main topics in the media here in Russia. Also, Saudi Arabia, by the way, expressed its opposition to Israeli plans to conduct operations in the southern Gaza. Although I don't think Israeli government will listen to Saudi Arabia really. Also, when it comes to Middle East, U.S. base in Syria came under drone attack. 3 drones targeted one of the U.S. bases, and according to RIA Novosti's sources in Syria, air defense system of that base was unable to shut down these drones, and at least 3 explosions were heard inside the military base. No reports about damage or casualties on that base. Maybe Pentagon will share some additional information, maybe not, but that's reports in Russian media. Also, by the way, quite interesting statements was made by Prime Minister of Hungary, Orban, and he basically confirmed these rumors that were circulating in media and on internet for the last couple of days, that Hungary agreed on this 50 billion deal to allocate 50 billion for Kiev regime because Budapest was receiving indirectly warnings and even threats that Brussels may hit Hungary's economy and hit hard. And basically, under this blackmail, under this pressure, Hungarian government made the decision that they made to agree on allocation of that 50 billion for Ukraine. So you tell me what type of organization that EU is if it threatens its own members with devastating impact on economy, on the social fabric, if capital or if political leadership is not acting under orders of Brussels. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It's not normal, but well, it is what it is. And also, by the way, well, I have to move this way because of the sun. And as you can see, it's a snow around, and the sun is shining. And also, by the way, very unfortunate news from France. In one of the nuclear power stations there, fire erupted, and as a result of it, 2 nuclear reactors had to be shut down. And that power station generates about 5% of France's electricity. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and there was no additional reports about radiation levels in and around that power station. So, well, I will keep in mind these developments, and if any additional news, of course, I will share that additional news in next updates. But whenever information is about nuclear power station, it's always serious. And France is one of the rare countries in the Western Europe which is not complying with this uh, green ideology and actively pushing for further development of nuclear technologies, nuclear power stations included. While Germany, for example, shut down all its nuclear power stations and now heavily depends on, when it comes to energy, on on foreign countries. And let's check. I guess I have a few more news to share, and simultaneously too. I'm now, by the way, in the Central Park, quite nice square. In the summertime, this area is just beautiful. We are not far away from Kremlin, from Red Square. It's about kilometers or maybe two from here. And as I said, I will try to make headlines today from Tverskaya Street, where some Chinese New Year decorations should be installed. I did not see it yet, so we will see it together. So, what other news I wanted to share with you? Well, this is also interesting, by the way, that Financial Times broke the story that in 2022, some high-ranking Brazilian militaries were agree basically to participate in military coup when Bolsonaro, former president of Brazil, lost elections. And I guess after these revelations from Financial Times, some investigation will be conducted, or maybe already in the process. And well, these high-ranking officials may end up in a very difficult situation. These high-ranking militaries. I did not expect that. I mean, because Brazil usually it's quite stable country of Latin America, and well, that's news that De Silva could be overthrown by military coup. And according to Financial Times, those generals did agree. Some generals, including, by the way, head of Navy, head of ground forces. So we are talking about some serious stuff here. And eventually, Bolsonaro himself refused to greenlight this. Former president of Brazil refused to greenlight this military coup because he was afraid that maybe high-ranking militaries were in support of him, some generals, but soldiers may not participate, may not obey orders, and therefore this coup d'état was called off. Very interesting stuff. And also, by the way, information about Turkey. U.S. Congress agreed to proposal that Turkey will receive F-16s. So I guess at this point practically nothing is left. Deal is sealed, and Turkey in a fairly short time will receive F-16 fighter jets, modern versions of F-16s. But same time, by the way, I remind you, if I may, that while Turkey will receive F-16s, Greek is about to receive F-35s. So I don't know. One may say Greek Air Force will be in in a better position because of these F-35s. But I don't know, man. I don't know how capable those F-35s are. I have some doubts about it. And after all, Turkey has Russian S-400s in its inventory. And S-400s most likely can take out any number of F-35s as long as those systems have enough missiles. So, well, interesting. I will end this update now, this little bit chaotic and short update now, and later on, as I said, I will have headlines. And dear friends, if you manage to go back to Dimitrov before it's not too late, this evening I will have a live stream on YouTube, on main YouTube channel, traditional Sunday live stream. So I hope if I have a live stream, you will manage to join the stream. And well, hopefully you will find this update interesting. And if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary just about anything, and share links to my videos or my channels on YouTube and Rumble with your friends. That will definitely help to reach wider community who may looking for news and political commentary from Russia in English. And if you think this channel, this project with several channels and several programs are interesting, useful, informative, and deserves to exist in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support with small donations through PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. You can see all the links under this video in the description box or in the pinned comment. This is it for now. Have a great day and take care.